Namaste. The question was, what are my views on baptism, particularly the baptism that is involved in the Christian religion? My views on this is real simple, based upon my research. When you look into the baptism, just like most Christian rituals, they all go back to Al-Kemet. Some people call it Tamaray, Egypt. The baptism goes back to Egypt. The baptism goes back to the spiritual bath. The baptism represented transformation. When you talk about being baptized, that's pretty much like a renewing. Represents renewal. It's ruled by Pluto. So it's dealing with transformation. And that's where the Christians got it from. The question was asked of me, if a person was baptized in a Christian church, could spells have been put on them, or could some type of ritual have been put on them through the baptism? For the most part, baptism is a ritual in general, and what you have to realize is that when a person does a ritual with you, like a priest or a reverend, when they do a ritual on your behalf, whatever their mindset is, that's going to be programmed into your ritual. So for instance, a priest baptizes you and they have a 6,000-year-old mindset, or maybe not even that, a 2,000-year-old mindset. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're religious and you believe in religion, you have a 2,000-year-old mindset, or sometime a 4,000-year-old mindset, because you believe that the world was created about 4,000 years ago, or 6,000 years ago actually. The earth was created about 6,000 years ago in the beginning. So therefore, all your knowledge and information that you have is going to be based on a 6,000-year time reference, or sometime before, or sometime a 2,000-year time reference, depending on which religion you're in. But the oldest religion, its time reference doesn't go back any further than 6,000 years. So if you're taking or getting a ritual done on you, because when you get baptized in church, this is usually performed on you. This is not a ritual that you do yourself. This is usually, when you're a child, or even when you're an adult. The pastor grabs your head, crown chakra. This is what happened to me. Grabs your head. I don't know how it was for you, because I was baptized in a Christian church, and dunks your head in the water, usually so many times, I think 3 times, and they baptize you. And this is supposed to represent change. But the thing is that when that man puts his hand on you, or that, usually a man, it's not even a woman, because in the church it has to be a male, I believe. When that man puts his hands on you, your crown chakra, what happens, see, the hands, the Christians know about the laying of the hands. They talk about laying of the hands to heal. Jesus would put his hands on people to heal, because the hands are healing agents and healing tools, and they have energy in your hands. This is why in martial arts, the first thing you start off with in martial arts is your hands. Like if I'm going to fight somebody, first thing I'm going to do is put my hands up like this. And people don't realize like what that is, because they're not really into martial arts or whatever. But the hands can be used as defense mechanisms. A lot of energy is emanated from the hands or whatever. So when that man puts his hands on you, his energy is radiating through his hands and coming out of his hands, whether it's his left hand or especially if it's his left hand, but even if it's his right hand, his energy is emanating from his hands and into your crown chakra and going into you. He's baptizing you through a ritual and programming you for the rest of your life based on his energy at that time. So all his fears, all his negativities, all that stuff went into you. And you're like, no, Ram Hosep, I don't want to hear this. I was baptized, I like your channel, and now I can't watch you no more because like my pastor's not going to like this. You're trying to say that my pastor's evil. I'm not talking about your pastor or your reverend or whoever, because I don't know that person. So if you feel like the person is pure of heart and you know that person's pure of heart, you trust them to do that ritual for you, cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. If that's you cool with the 6,000 years worth of history. See, my only problem with it is like for beginners is most people are vegans. That's why I could never really have anybody do a ritual for me on my behalf, because they're toxic usually. They usually eat pig flesh and swine, you know what I'm saying, which is totally poison. It has all type of worms, trichina worms and stuff in it. They usually eat that type of stuff. So I don't mess around with that. And then on top of that, they believe in a 6,000-year mindset, and I don't want to be programmed with quarantine information. People fail to realize that the quarantine was put into place 6,000 years ago and is based upon religion. The whole quarantine itself is based upon religion. So when you get baptized by these people, I mean, they're programming all this stuff into you. And if you like have a lot of information, you know that the earth is definitely way more than 6,000 years old and a lot of stuff like that. I mean, you're going to kind of want to like cleanse yourself probably from getting baptized, from the time when you were baptized. You want to get all of that Christianity out of you. If you are already totally chose to live a life based upon past 6,000 years worth of history, if you chose to live basically a vegan life and the pastor that baptized you was probably eating pork or flesh or some type of flesh at the time or whatever, you chose to basically, you want to be really pure, you should do a spiritual bath. You should do a spiritual bath. And really that's where the baptism came from. So my views on baptism, there's nothing wrong with the spiritual bath and the spiritual cleanse and the baptism, because that's really all it was, beloved. It was just the spiritual bath. But the spiritual bath is deep, especially the ones that a lot of shamans do. We have one at 13 Signs Astrology that we do as well. That's, you can click on the link below to check that out. But the one that the shamans do, it's really like key or whatever, is really key in cleansing, like the one that the shamans usually give you. Like if you go to a shaman and get a reading, they'll usually give you a cleanse or something like that, or a bath, you know, like some of them. So like some of the good ones. And those are like the really good ones or whatever, to cleanse you on all energetic levels from like all your past life blockages, spells that was put on you intentionally and unintentionally. Now some people did have spells put on them. I'm going to bring balance to this video. Some of these reverends and pastors out here is putting spells on y'all intentionally. And they're using your energy. They're vampires. See, they study in the school of the vampire. They know how to take energy, and they're using your energy to keep doing what they're doing or whatever. They're putting spells on you. So you got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, you have to penetrate all of this stuff. You have to penetrate and pierce through all these illusions. You know what I'm saying? So you can get to the truth. And the truth of the matter is that whatever's in that person, I'm going to say it one more time, is programmed into you when they did that ritual on you. Whatever is in their heart, whatever evil is in their heart, they were jealous. They didn't like you. The pastor really didn't like you. When, like, as you were growing up in the church, and they finally got a chance to baptize you. You got to realize all that's in you. So my thing is, I'm more of a do-it-yourself person. That's why a lot of people don't like a lot of my views, because I'm all about self-sufficiency and being as self-sustaining as possible. Now, we have to be cooperative, but we turn cooperative when everybody does them. See, that's my philosophy. If everybody's doing them, then it turns into a co-op, because if I'm doing me, I have things that you don't have. If you're doing you, you have things that I don't have. So guess what? I need you. So now we can barter. Now we can exchange. Now we can pass around money or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the medium is. So everybody has to, at the end of the day, do them. That's what it comes down to. And I feel like a person should cleanse themselves spiritually. You should be able to self-cleanse and self-baptize yourself. And that's just what I believe in, whether you're Christian or whatever you are. You know what I'm saying? So the spiritual bath is very key. The ancient Egyptians used to do spiritual baths 3 and 5 times a day. They spent a lot of time in water in the bathtub, because water represented spirit and energy. You know what I'm saying? And they knew that they were getting a lot of energy. You have a double. You have an etheric double. And I'm going to do another video on this at a different time. But this double gets toxic with great energy. You know what I'm saying? Or some people call it dark energy, but it's gray energy actually. It gets toxic, and you need to do a spiritual bath really all the time to cleanse yourself of that. And when you're eating unhealthy, that causes you to get toxic and creates a lot of gray energy as well. So, and even doing readings for people, all my readers out there, that creates a lot of gray energy. Myself, I have to do a spiritual bath sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. Really, I should be doing it more than that, but sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. The spiritual bath, on my website, I have to do that 2 or 3 times a week just to stay cleansed, just to stay pure, just to keep my body pure with water as a temple. I mean, the Bible is right about that. Your body is a temple, and you should keep it pure and clean with water. With water, that's what we use. You know what I'm saying? So, internally as well as externally, alkaline water. So that's my views on the baptism. Not to belabor the point. I hope you gained something from this video. And if you enjoyed this video, I ask you to subscribe to my channel. And until we meet again, I'm going to leave you all in peace, love, and prosperity.